It
Okay.
looks like we are in, right?
Yeah, we're live.
Are we
Yeah.
in? All right, fantastic. Okay, great. So, welcome everyone here on social media. I think we are broadcasting on Facebook and YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Is it YouTube too? Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Good. So, we have a cool webinar today. Great guest. The webinar today is called "Protecting the Human Rights of Our Families." Okay, so we're going to pull up the PowerPoint real quick, so we show them a little bit about what we will do, plus a little, more data on human rights, and as we always do.
Yeah. Good night, everyone. I hope you guys
Three,
are
two.
joining us today, and we'll get started right away. Here.
All right, fantastic. So the webinar today is protecting the human rights of our families. So first of all, thank you for being here. For those watching this now, and obviously for those watching it later. The topics today are: what are human rights? Human right number 16, marriage and family. Human rights 22, social security. And then we have a very special guest, and we'll be talking about solutions to protect the human rights of our families. Very important topic. And of course, as always, we have Sandra Moreno, Executive Director, my companion here, the Wonder Woman of Human Rights here in Tampa, Executive Director of United for Human Rights, Tampa, leading education of human rights to over 10,000 people. Now, Sandra has been in Chile, Mexico, obviously United States. And through webinars, I think she's planning to conquer the world. She's doing a great job. And with Sandra, we share a passion for human rights, education, and human rights. So it's a pleasure to be with her and share these webinars to all. So thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Wency, for being here with me tonight. So, Wency is an entrepreneur and business coach. In the last 10 years, he has trained over 5,000 entrepreneurs. His expertise is admin, and he brought all that expertise to this webinar to get it's like a social expertise that he got from all this training that he did, and now he's bringing it here so that you guys can know all these wonderful organizations that we interview each week. So thank you, Wency, once again, for being with me in this webinars talk a talk with community heroes, we want to call it, because that's what we think they are. They're like community heroes.
Yes.
So hopefully you guys get inspired and want to do more just like they are doing.
Yes, perfect. And as always, ask, comment, and share.
Oh,
Why do we ask that, Sandra? What do you think?
well, it's great for us to just see all like your questions. If you have any comments about what we're talking about the guest that we're having, if you have any questions to him, you can always put it in the comments, and we'll try to ask this question. And also, we love when you guys share the content, because it means that others organizations can also other people can see this organization that we're talking with, and it reaches more people. So that's basically like why we need you guys to do that. But we just love that you guys are engaging with the content. That's mainly the reason.
Yes. Yeah. Particularly, we're putting our time on the education. This is completely free, and we do it because we want to spread the knowledge. We want to help people through human rights. So it really inspires us to do more. But also, the way social media works, the more you interact with any activity, the platform will give you more power. So if you ask, make comments, or share, then obviously more people will be reaching the content we're sharing. So let's get started, right? Let's go.
Yeah.
So first, let's start with some definitions. The first one is, what are human rights? So the definition of human is a member of the Homo sapiens species, a man, a woman, or child, basically a person. Definition of rights: things to which you are entitled or allowed, freedoms that are guaranteed. So now when we put them together as human rights, the rights you have simply because you are human. Human rights are based on the principle of respect for the individual. And I think that's a very key word: respect, tolerance, etc. So tell us, Sandra, why is that important? Why do we want to emphasize on respect?
Well, because the human rights its main principle is a respect for the individuals, and respect for the differences, respect for how they think, this respect for them just for being a human being. Like we already know that the human being as a species has we are all different, right? In how we look and how we think, and human rights is about respecting those differences. So the more we are respecting other people, the more we're actually protecting their human rights.
Perfect. So the definition of respect is due regard for the feelings, wishes, rights, or traditions of others. There's another word there: dignity, which is the state or quality of being worthy of honor or respect. So when we look at the next sentence, which is their fundamental assumption is that each person is a moral and rational being who deserves to be treated with dignity. So when that right there, obviously there are 30 human rights, but when you look at this two paragraphs, they're very powerful. And if you look at those two words, which is respect, and then the fact that people deserve to be treated with dignity, then you get the grasp of really what human rights are all about. So they're called human rights because they are universal, whereas nations or specialized groups enjoy specific rights that apply only to them. Human rights are the rights to which everyone is entitled, no matter who they are or where they live, simply because they are alive. Now, there's a correlation between these three things, and Sandra's going to explain a little bit what do human rights have to do with these three states of existence, which is be, do, and have. Tell us, Sandra. Sandra can explain this very beautifully.
um, so basically, a human being has this different. Basically, he's performing different activities and making different decisions in his life. He wants to be things, right? He wants to be a professional. He wants to be, like a mother or a father. Like anything that he would. I mean, he plays different types of roles in his life, right? So those are the things that he wants to be. And then there's things that he wants to do, like he wants to go on a vacation, he wants to travel another place, he wants to play some, I don't know, sports. And then there's things that he wants to have in his life, like he wants obviously to have his cell phone, to have a car, maybe to have a house. So through all those things that he has, he can be, do, and have. Human rights are playing along all those areas in his life and protecting those those areas and decisions that he makes in his life to be, to do, and to have. So that's why we say that there are the rights that allow them to be, to do, and to have things in his life.
Perfect. Thank you, Sandra. Now,
Mhm.
based on the speaker today, based on the guest we have two human rights that we are featuring, and the first one is marriage and family. We'll play a short video related to that.
She came up and kissed me one day.
It was an impulse. I just grabbed him and I kissed him on the lips and I ran away.
Because I was like 20 years old. It's not like something you talk about marriage all the time.
But I asked for her number. She wouldn't give me her number.
No, I think he liked me first, for sure. Because
She's hot. We met in a grocery store.
We were in a class together.
Came up to me one day, says, I got this perfect girl for you.
he was a good dancer, but not too good.
Like he was my soulmate.
She's my queen. Of course, I'm the king.
I said, I have to ask you something. And she said, what? And I kneeled down And
She was laughing and trembling. She gets so embarrassed.
what did I say? I said, will you marry me or will you be my wife?
Will you be my wife?
He proposed to me on my birthday.
And she said, yes. Are you sure?
Sorry.
Okay, good. That's very beautiful. Now, the next one is 22, which is Social Security. Okay.
Awesome.
All
Yeah,
right, good. So,
one of the topics
sure.
and the topics that we had mentioned that uh, we're looking into today is protecting the human rights of our families. So that's why we wanted to kind of show that human rights. But I think obviously this organization covers a lot more than that. So we have a special guest that's actually gonna tell us a little bit about this organization. His name is Noel Johnson. He is the project manager. He's the current project manager of Project Link. He has worked with Project Link for over 10 years. He's also a United States veteran who served in the U.S. Army for 9 years. And he also obtained a master's degree in social work from the University of South Florida. So we're going to bring our guest here today, Noel. Hi, Noel.
Hello, good evening.
Noel, how are you?
I'm well, and yourself?
Doing well.
Awesome.
Close
All right,
by since you're in Tampa. I'm in Clearwater, but Sandra is close to you, I guess.
well, we're all close in heart.
That's
Right.
right. Exactly.
So it's an honor to have you here today with us, Noel, representing Project Link as a project manager. Tell us a little bit about what motivated you to start working with them.
Actually, it's sort of by circumstance, even as you mentioned, some of that's where the main focus we're talking about human rights here. Almost when I was, for example, when I was entering the program, I was actually finding or wondering where exactly did I want to focus my what agency did I want to do my field work in. There have been some challenges in trying to do so. But just by knowing my previous at bachelor's levels, she had a project in Kenya and mission. And she said, well, no, why don't you do an interview with Tina Young? And I did. And after talking with her, noticing where the agency was at, and by some of my challenges that I had to this point, already opened my eyes to where I felt I was overcome the challenges of inequity and not inclusion and not having respect or dignity for who I am and who I was at that time, and particularly with the judicial system. But after meeting Tina and seeing what HC focus on the people, and we say respect and the dignity in these communities, in fact, when we sit, and the mission, it provides assistance, support, and information and advocacy and their families contribute. Educated society. Psychosocial interactions, some things that we're talking about, sometimes things that people go through, then their behaviors or some of your tools and some of your practices that psychology uses. And that's what it's about, how to, use your mind in the healthiest way possible. But the motivation was already there. When I read that mission statement, when I read it on the back of our business cards, it let me know that I'm in the right place. And we serve a mutual affair in supporting our efforts, and not only that, but reaching out to the community at large. And thank goodness that we have supportive organizations that have the exposure such as yours.
That's awesome. Now, I think I missed it a little bit in there. Maybe there was a little bit of a sound problem. So why don't you tell us a little bit more on the mission? I know you mentioned it, but I think it could have been my audio here. But tell
Well,
us a little bit more about the mission of the organization.
the mission of the organization is to provide that assistance. I say that assistance, that guidance, and that support and information. I would say even education. This is what you're doing now. Our mission is to support and assist and advocate. Again, when you mention about dignity and self-worth, advocacy for our children and their families, and by introducing them to healthier, safer ways of expressing themselves. So the mission is about assistance, supporting, and informing individuals, such as what we're doing now.
That's
That's
awesome.
awesome. I love it.
So you guys also have a goal, right? To the families to have all these tools, right? That they can self-address social inequities, right?
Right.
In whatever communities they live. This is like a very ambitious goal because obviously we would like everybody to be able to have this like focus. And when we're talking about education and human rights, we want them to make those decisions and address any problems themselves, because that's who's gonna protect human rights better in it's it them in their own communities, right?
Right.
So you guys have that goal to actually bring this this inequities that they see and basically bring them together so that there's less, right? So there's less inequities in where they're living.
Right.
How is the foundation Project Link working to achieve this goal? Like, what programs do you guys have available?
The programs I'll get to in the latter part of my response. But the goal ultimately is to be, when I say transparent, of the programs, structures. We have we're focused on mental health. We're a smaller agency, and by trying to accomplish these goals, first thing I feel is accept. That's the first thing. Is by how we apply.
I think we're losing a little bit of sound. I don't know once if you can hear him good.
Yeah.
No, maybe right. Can you repeat that, Noel?
As I was saying, just again, the goal is allowing individuals to be themselves, allowing ourselves to be transparent. As we said earlier, it's about efforts that barriers, can cause in people's lives. So the programs that we definitely have is our Encourage You program, our Just Strive program, and the names themselves identify, give you an idea of what we're trying to accomplish. As you mentioned earlier, we would like individuals to change and take care of their challenges and issues by themselves, and we can't shake them, and make them listen. But it's about providing programs such as each which is a mental health component. Our Just Strive program is a program initiated to first give someone stable housing who may need it. Our back to school fairs are more than just giving them a backpack. It's about getting them medically ready, getting them mentally ready and prepared for school. And also, we have a healthcare component too, whereas I'm a certified application counselor, as you mentioned, the, the 22nd human, human Bill of Rights, which is Social Security, so we can assist individuals in applying for health care in the market.
Awesome. Now, you've been involved with United. Obviously, United for Human Rights is an organization focusing on the education of the 30 human rights. You've been involved with them. You've been a lot of, you know, about the programs and you use the knowledge, the booklets, and so on. So, what got you interested in getting involved in the education of human rights?
Well, after meeting some of your representatives, that's what really got us interested in how we can infuse it into some of the programs. As you mentioned, to address some of the inequities and factors, person-centered approach. Well, within, there in our environments, we realize that it says the human rights. I see a parallel. When you think of wanting to assist the individual to heal themselves, or I be that gatekeeper or that conduit to assist someone, the basic human right is first that person, respect that person, allow that individual to move at a pace that's comfortable for them. They make me uncomfortable as I'm like, oh, well, move, I want you to move. No, allowing an individual to make their decisions. And by modeling these behaviors, by viewing situations, as obstacles in life and not something that's permanent, and it's going to be forever, we attempt to provide supportive resources to fulfill gaps that individuals find challenging and overcome. And there's a tool that we can utilize and have been utilizing is the Declaration of Human Rights.
That's awesome. Yes, absolutely.
Super. And well, as you mentioned in the beginning, we showed this video about human rights, number 16, right? The right to marriage and family.
Mm-hmm.
And related to the topic that we named this webinar or this talk, how do you feel your organization protects this right through its activities?
What? Good question. Good question. Simply, this is marriage. You have to have confidence. You want to have self-worth. You want to have self-esteem. You want to have a good mental health balance. And by our approaches and my practice is being but soon to be prayerfully a clinical health professional. These qualities, they can be adjusted and worked on, and it should make for a grounded individual inner life with another supportive person. For them both to grow together and consider family, if that's something considered, and how they can support each other during crisis and trauma. Often at times, those are the things that separate individuals because of marriage. So, in utilizing our components, it's the basic. First of all, me acknowledging my physiological being and presence. So, by knowing, as we know, families are the foundation of given families are viewed through so many different lenses these days, still having that is grounded that can support themselves, somewhat of self-worth, excellent individuals.
I think we lost the last part that you mentioned.
Having two solid people makes for an excellent couple.
That's great. That's awesome.
Okay.
Okay, good. So this one it's more of a personal question. You're really involved. I mean, we interview everybody who is basically a nonprofit or people who work in nonprofit. And every nonprofit is really involved. I mean, the core of the activity is to help others unconditionally most of the time, right?
Mhm.
So, and it's not always easy. Like life, throws you curves here and there, and it's not always easy to go, you know, push through troubles and so on to go and help other and really literally expecting nothing, almost nothing in return. What what does that mean to you to be helping? And tell us why you recommend that others will do the same.
Well, given the fact that people have, I said now people are anxious at the period of assistance to individuals. I would recommend finding, be sure that there's something in um, myself and um, some clients.
I
And
think we're losing you, Noel.
I hear you all. I can't.
Okay, there you go.
There you go.
It's
There
all
you go.
lean in. I lean in.
There you go. There you go.
But again, it's no more than offering individuals and suggesting individuals something that you like. You should think about it. I know people get on computers, other channels, they communicate with people that get on the sometimes it's easy, because they're punishment things. Challenge some of your own, like I want to say, apprehensions about yourself and individuals.
I think we're losing you again.
Like Tina and I, that's about it.
Okay, let me see.
I think the audio was on and off.
Yeah, it was on and off.
What do you want me to elaborate on? What didn't you hear?
Well,
We
we
can't.
heard parts of it.
Well, ask the question again.
Yeah.
Okay,
So, why is helping others important to you, and why would you recommend it to others?
Well, for me, I feel like because I'm doing my part. Again, our mission is about preparing individuals to be citizens of society. And as the human rights suggest, the more of us that respect ourselves and offer our hand, I feel like I've done my part. And as I often work with some individuals, then they may say, "Oh, I think I want to do what you do. I like doing what you're doing." And I think a lot of it comes through my own personal display and how I go into my profession. So it's that's something that you should have. Well, like to do, not say want to do, but you have to find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
right.
Absolutely. We got that one. Yes.
Awesome.
Get like the old school here scratching records, mixologies.
I mean,
Uh,
those are the challenges of doing lives, It happens. It
That's
happens.
it. It happens. That's it.
that's right.
Yeah,
We got it.
that's right. So one of the things we always ask the people that we interview, because we want to make, like as Wency said, like a personal connection.
Yeah.
So we want to understand like how you felt also on the side of on helping others, and maybe if you can share with us like a personal story in which helping others fulfilled your heart, like you felt super good just doing that, and something that you still haven't forgotten about it because it just changed your life somehow, impacted
Right.
you, right?
Yeah. I'm not sure in Wednesday. Am I saying that correct? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not. If I could just one story or one family. I think it's a collective. For example, when you see someone is down, whether it's through systemic things or even choices of their own, and And at times, I may not know how to assist them or help them. I'll put my answers in two parts. Um, for example, I've had individuals come to my office and I wasn't able to get the resources, tangible resources, but after our interaction, and listening to them, they're feeling better than when they came to me. Second part, why I like doing what I do and continue to do so, is when you do see that aha moment, whether it is through resources, to where you can get a family in housing, to where their children have a place to stay. You can help them get some food. You can help them find employment. These things are just satisfying to me to know that I'm helping not only society, but the community. I just say one, it's it would just be minimizing all the others. But I just in that aha moment, and not only that, but having finding the inner emotion in myself when I don't get the results that we want to see. Whereas you working with a family and they're doing all the things opposite of what you would like them to do. And the fact that I know while I'm here, I know I'm not giving up. I know I'm going to keep trying to encourage them. Now, if I can't assist them, then I know to find someone else or some other resources that hopefully can have a positive impact on individuals, the individual or family.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely. Yeah, that is really great. No, I tell us a little bit about the future. What do we expect to see in the future for your organization and you guys?
Well, this business of nonprofit, I hope it's in our future that we can receive funding in ways. But we're continuing our back to school fairs. When we see that these fairs are assisting those who may not have um, to prepare their children for school, seems very hopeful in us developing our mental health component of our mission, along with our youth access mapping system. We call it serving yams. Looking at our futures, definitely focusing on our mental health and the balance thereof. So, collectively, as show people how to, if you will, serve themselves. When I mean serve themselves, how to rationalize their thoughts, how to rationalize their emotions. Know that everyone is not going to be on your side, not directly because they do it by choice, but it's because of life's challenges that they've had. So the future is going to be accepting, the future is going to be focused on them, how they interact, and see where it goes.
Excellent. Super.
And then to anybody watching us right now that wants to help Project Link, right? How can they contact you? Is there a way that they can do something and help you guys in some way?
Yes, if anyone want to reach out to us, they can obviously our website www.project-living.org, and there we have all the options of volunteerism and areas to where individuals can help. Also by telephone. Have two things all starting with 812-274-7982 extension 9. That'll get you back. Our main office number is 813-276-5671. And since our main office is going to speak to you and see again how we all can actually help each other, not just what we do. Because Tina and I would definitely do it from our heart.
That's all. So anybody can be a volunteer with you guys also, like if they want to help you guys.
Yes, within reason, there's some background challenges, but only those whereas in our environment, if they have children like those probably be the only possibility. Other than that, yes, we do accept volunteers.
That's awesome.
Awesome. Well, no, well, from us to you, we want to thank you for what you do. It's we believe the world is changed positively by those who want to do something about it, and then they do it, not just speak about it, talk about it on social media, or post some cute little post somewhere, but actually do something about it. So, from us to you, thank you for what you do. Is it's definitely needed in this world, and we want to forward the message to everybody out there that there are a lot of people, good, well-hearted, awesome people like you, working on good projects, um, and uh, and they can always join. You know.
Yes, you can. And thank you very much, Wincy and Sandra both. Thank you for your time and this platform to share what we all are doing, what you all are doing as well. It just shows that some of our issues aren't so distant, that we do have people within our communities that support our efforts. So thank you all as well.
Pleasure, and I'm sure because we do have the same line of, let's call it, business or play, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
We're in the same line of play. We will join forces, and there will be projects that will work together. So yes, it's a pleasure to do this, and obviously a pleasure to have you here.
And thank you again.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Noel.
You're welcome.
All right, cool. So we're going to now we're going to be wrapping up. Let's we're going to pull up the there you go. Once. Okay. Perfect. Okay, good. So we'll end up with human rights number human right 29, which is responsibility. What is it that they can
Oh,
do?
no, not that one.
We will have another group, but we do have, for those who speak some Spanish, a group called Protecting the Human Rights, or Protecting Human Rights. So we'll have one in English, and then we're going to start growing that one as well. So thank you for attending. And just to wrap up, a candle loses nothing by lighting another candle. So please share. And if you see Noel or their organization in Tampa, just give them your support. Those are awesome people. And again, the world needs more of people like him and their organization. So thank you for being here. Thank you, Sandra. What do we have? When are we going to be back, Sandra?
In 2 weeks in English.
And then 1
Next
week in Spanish, right?
Yeah, next week is in Spanish and 2 weeks more in English. So thank you guys for being here. Hope you guys share the content and hope you guys like this organization. We're gonna bring in another guest to talk about their foundation. So see you then.
All right, cool. See you in a week, actually.
Yeah.